We are live. How about you, everybody? Welcome to the Auburn Live call-in show, Big Cat Edition. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. If you're not a member of that site, dude, right now, $1 for the first month. Go get signed up, Auburn Live on 3. I'm joined, as I always am, 60% of the time, by Mr. Cole Pinkston. Mr. Zach in the back has come to the front, and Mr. Jhead. How about you, fellas?
How about
you, baby?
Big Cat, how about you to you?
Ooh, deserved it after that day.
What a weekend.
What
a weekend. What a week for the Auburn Tigers, for the Auburn Tigers recruiting. Auburn added 5-star linebacker to Marcus Riddick, flipped him from Georgia on Wednesday, turned around 72 hours later, got a 4-star wide receiver commitment from Malcolm Simmons, and then a few hours after that, flipped Mr. Perry Thompson from the Alabama Crimson Tide, a first of my career. I went back and looked. The only thing I could come close to was Brent Callaway. I think he was a 4-star at the time when he was committed to Auburn. And then, of course, he became a 5-star when he flipped back to Alabama.
How it works sometimes.
We have got a special show tonight. We've got special guests. We got callers coming in. We want to get to as many as possible. We want to talk as much about Big Cat as possible. Before we do, y'all know what them shorts I've been wearing. Bird dogs. Get you a pair, folks. Hey, listen, they got these polo shirts too now. They just don't have those shorts that make your butt look good. And as I told somebody, Jessica won't let me wear them out in public because they make me look too good. That's bottom line. Bird dogs make you look good. They got the stretch khaki shorts. They're designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and the leg, giving you a true sculpted look. They do the exact same thing as those Lululemons, but they fit way better. They fit way better than regular shorts. You don't believe me? Try them out, man. Bird Dogs. Go to birddogs.com/Auburn. I think the tumblers got sold out, so now they're giving away free hats. Get you a Bird Dog hat for free. Birddogs.com/Auburn. Again, go to birddogs.com/Auburn. Get you a new hat. Get you a couple pair of shorts, maybe a shirt. And then tweet a picture of yourself in them. Let me see it. I won't let Jessica look at it, but I will do myself a favor and look at it. Folks, we want to get right to the phone lines tonight. We are going to go to the man of the month, the man of the year, Mr. Frederick 90 from Auburn Live on 3's message board. The corner. This dude has been calling Perry Thompson to Auburn for I don't know how long.
Since March.
Since Perry was in the 7th grade, this dude has been saying Perry Thompson is going to end up at Auburn. And not that I didn't trust him. Not that I didn't trust Frederick. I didn't trust Alabama.
Correct.
And that's not a shot at Alabama. That's because they're so good. I've stopped trusting them. You can't trust them. They're too good in recruiting, especially when it comes to in-state 5-stars. If they want a guy, they will get him. Auburn will not. That's just how it's been. But all right, Frederick, you on?
Well, hang on, we getting them on here.
I got a dog running around with a squeaky toy, of course. I forgot to show my bird dogs, my tramp stamp.
Oh, look at you!
Tramp stamp comes with every pair.
We're live. He's not live.
Oh, somebody send the CPR team to him.
Frederick. And I was about to give you
Hello?
claps and a Ric Flair, baby.
There we go.
Yeah.
How about you?
You're live.
Alvin. Simon and Theodore.
Well, we gonna get them right.
Tell you what, Jeffrey, I didn't trust Fred at first. I'll just be honest.
So I'm going to talk about the phone. Are we Frederick? We got Frederick.
Frederick, you there?
Fred? Yeah, I'm here.
There you go.
You don't sound as excited as we are. Frederick.
Hello? Hey, what's up? What's happening?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about y'all?
Oh, we're getting along.
Yeah, he's just doing all right. It's just business.
Appreciate you calling and talking to us, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Frederick, you've earned this time, buddy. This is your moment. This is your "I told you so" moment. This is y'all didn't trust me. I got you, big dog moment. Live it.
Yep.
Hey,
Preach,
this gonna be
baby.
the firm I told you so to Jhead.
No! Stuff me in the locker, Fred. It's a good night to do it, baby. But
It
get
was-
on that pulpit and
You was
preach.
the last one to start to believe.
I don't
Yeah.
blame him.
I don't either.
Man, I tried to tell y'all.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I don't care what nobody said. Nobody was gonna change my mind because I had a really, really good source on that one.
Well,
Well-
obviously so.
Obviously, Fred, don't tell us your source, but as much as you can tell us. What did you know? How'd you know? Give us what you can tell us.
How did it unfold?
Man, all I know is that very, very first visit that Perry went on. I think it was I believe it was in February, I believe.
It was in January.
No, it was one of them. I can't remember. But that very, very first visit is it was eye opener for Perry. And his uncle just clicked with Hugh Freeze and Marcus Davis, and it just changed it up on him.
Okay, Fred, I saw Perry
Yeah,
that day. I remember it was January.
Okay.
It was
was
January 28th, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't Junior Day. It was before Junior. I think the weekend before Junior Day. I remember because I was there that day, and I was like, somebody big might be here, and it just so happened to be.
I think it was a weekday.
It was, and it was Perry Thompson and Martavis Collins, who were both committed to Alabama, and they came on the same day.
Yep. It was that visit right there.
Mhm.
So
And then he just kept coming back. He even did some pop-up visits here and there.
Yeah.
what do you think in the end, Frederick? What do you think it was? I mean, I know he's told us, legacy, making his own mark. Hugh Freeze was a big deal. Marcus Davis was a big deal. I think Walker White played a role in it as well. Obviously, NIL was there as well. We can't forget that fact. I think it's just understood now, right? It's not like, oh, yeah. Like, you understand, if you get 5-star guys, your NIL package was there.
Man, I don't know how, but him and Nick Marner, them two are real tight right there.
We saw Nick Marner all over the place yesterday at Big.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah, Nick Marner is real. Him and Perry, they're real tight. And I know that I can credit Perry. Well, us getting Perry is credited to Walker White, number one, and then Hugh Freeze and Marcus Davis.
Fred, I put my prediction in. I think it was on Friday. I had it written on Thursday. No, yeah, that's right. That's right. And if you'll remember, Thursday, I was told, ask me tomorrow. So there was still a little bit of hesitancy in my people. And hold on. And because they were like me, they don't trust Alabama, especially coming in that last minute. But on Friday, it was thumbs up. And that's when I put it up. And after talking to Perry, if you'll remember what he said, I called Nick on Thursday. And I told him I'm going to Auburn. And he respected it. And Cole, I believe your source has said Alabama has conceded.
Mm-hmm.
So, Fred, that's what I was worried about. I didn't doubt you for a second. I didn't doubt Perry. Listen, we talk about that. I talked about a month ago. I was like, ask me on August the 1st, the conversation I had tonight, whatever it was. I don't even remember how long ago it was. But that conversation, I'll go ahead and tell you, you don't have to wait till August the 1st because everything has unfolded now. But I'm talking to a recruit, and it's an Auburn recruit, and he hadn't committed to Auburn. And he's talking about, we were talking off the record, and he said, yeah, I said, well, are you getting recruited, or you making? He goes, yeah, everybody's recruiting me for Auburn. And, Walker White and then DeMarcus and Perry, and I was like, what? He said, yeah, they're flipping. I was like, but they're recruiting me to Auburn.
Yeah,
I was like, you've got to be kidding me! Like openly recruiting him, not publicly, but openly recruiting this kid to Auburn. We're flipping this month. I'm flipping on the 26th. Perry's flipping on the 29th. I'm flipping on the 29th. DeMarcus is flipping on the 26th. For a long time, Fred, and this was probably back when you were. This was after you had been saying Perry to Auburn. But again, I'm still going. I know what he's saying. I know what Tony Mitchell was saying. I know what Tony Mitchell was saying behind the scenes. He's coming to Auburn. So that was my conversation. People have been waiting on. These kids were getting recruited by DeMarcus and Perry. I thought that said a lot, but I still didn't trust Alabama enough. That's why I waited the last minute. But Fred, you were all over it.
Y'all gonna be surprised on August 5th.
Let's talk about that because I was going to get to that.
Yeah.
KJ Bolden, 5-star safety from Buford, is going to announce his decision on August the 5th, which is next Saturday. It's coming Saturday. Auburn, Florida State, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama's in there as well. We've been saying, I think since Friday, Cole, I started putting out there that maybe we thought it was down to Auburn and Florida State. Mm-hmm. That was Friday morning or Friday, maybe it's Saturday morning before Big Cat. Yep. And then Saturday afternoon leaves, and boy, did we hear some chatter. Freddie, do you think we were hearing legit chatter?
You said, do I think y'all was hearing chatter?
We were hearing positive, very positive chatter for KJ Bolden to Auburn. Is that what you're hearing?
Hey, oh yeah. Cole know what I said. And
Cole don't talk to us. He don't tell us anything. That's why I call you. I got to get info from you.
Cole treats us like the feds, brother. He feeds us shit and keeps us in the dark. You know what I mean? He's not worried about us, Brady.
That's right. You got to move in silence, you know.
Perry and DeMarcus, they've been working on KJ. And Walker, they've been working on KJ. And then that come to Jesus meeting with Freeze and stuff, I think it's still the deal.
What you were 100% on Perry. What would you say you are on KJ?
Right now, I'm still sitting at 60, 65. I got to talk to a few people this week, and I'm pretty positive that percentage gonna shoot up for me. But I won't.
Go ahead, Fred. I'm sorry.
I said I'm pretty sure that percentage is gonna shoot up this week. Sometime this week after I speak to a couple of people, and y'all will know.
All right.
I'm going to have my hot boards tomorrow morning. I'm following the Big Cat recruiting event. I'm still.
And before you go, I was told to ask what are y'all thoughts on Jhead Perlock.
Ooh,
I was hoping that we get on that kid and push before he had committed to I think Georgia, and I was shocked to see him end up at Big Cat.
I was shocked to hear what he said.
I was shocked that he was at Big Cat until Jeffrey talked to him and we talked to people about him. And then I go, oh, all right. So Auburn's been in this for a minute then.
And I tell you what,
I did not think we was on him.
That was the first I'd heard of him. Of course, I don't pay much attention to the 2025 except guys like JJ Falks, EJ May, some of these in-state kids that I know. And but when I saw who he was and researched him yesterday, and then I talked to him afterwards, and I think it was maybe me and Christian B-Matt maybe was there, but he's like, surprise coming. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I remembered where he goes to high school, who his teammate is, who he looks up to. And I thought, that's pretty interesting because I don't.
Hey, y'all, I'm about to get ready to hop off because the superstar of the hour, she said she was waiting.
Okay.
Hey, Frederick, thank you so much, big dog. We appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, Frederick 90, legend, instant legend on the Auburn Live on 3 message board. Frederick 90 is his name. Join the show. Join the site. Call, look him up, hit him a follow. And I have another special caller coming in tonight. What's the number? 701-779-9585.
Yeah, we I think our special guest is on the line right now.
Oh, is she here?
Yes.
Bring her on.
6095, you are live.
Grandma.
Hello.
Grandma.
Hey, there she is.
Yes.
Folks, we have
Hello.
a special guest. This is Grandma Riddick, commonly known to the Auburn fan base as Mrs. Willie Riddick on Twitter. This is the grandmother of DeMarcus Riddick, the 5-star commitment to Auburn. Grandma, thank you so much for joining us tonight. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
Has things started to slow down for you? I know you've been slapping and dropping elbows on Bama fans throughout the week. Is it starting to settle down a little bit?
Yes, sir. I'm letting go. They let my baby go, so I'm letting them go.
Did they finally give up on him?
Yes, sir. They knew to.
There you go.
Oh,
Well, if everybody's been living under a rock, Grandma Riddick has been she's been the recipient, not her, but her grandson DeMarcus, since flipping his commitment from Georgia to Auburn. Fans have been pretty sour about that, mostly Alabama fans, and Grandma Riddick has said, "You're not going to do this for free, big dog. Like there will be repercussions. Don't mess with my grandson. Have some class about you." And she's handled it so good, Grandma. You handled it way better than I would.
Thank you.
I mean, with
Thank
humor, with firmness, and Grandma, this is a great lesson. And I hope Auburn fans are paying attention, because you think about guys that Auburn has lost out on, Cam Coleman and people like that. Do not run and dog these kids. Do not do that.
No.
Wish them
sir.
well, because you never know what's going to happen. But Grandma, I thought I pulled out a tweet. You said, "This will be my last tweet on this thread." This was Friday, I believe. When you lose a recruit,
Yes, sir.
accept it and keep moving. Stop bashing them all. Stop bashing them. After all, it's their life. It's not yours, fans.
Yes, sir.
I might be silent, but I will be here. Leave me and mine alone, and I will do the same. I thought that said it all, and I hope all
Yes,
fans are
sir.
listening to that. But Grandma,
Yes, sir.
let's talk about Saturday, Big Cat Weekend. How did it go?
Yes, sir. Oh, it was great. I mean, we were treated like royalty, just like we're always treated when we're there. I love my Auburn family. From the coaches' wives, the team players, the fans, everybody are beautiful.
Who really?
From the time we first started, it always felt like home. And so I think that's really what got DeMarcus. Because if you see the glow on his face when he walks up in there, it's just like he's at home.
You know, when I was talking to you yesterday, his dad was telling me, because Cole and I here, we had noticed a change in DeMarcus's demeanor at Auburn, I think back in June.
Mhm.
And his dad was like, that's when it was. Like, that's when that's when he knew that this was going to be home.
Yes, sir.
What coaches to you, Grandma?
That was during the time. I'm sorry. What was that?
What coaches are you just like, I love that guy?
Which coaches now?
Yeah. Do you have a favorite? Do you have some favorites on the coaching staff that you just think really highly of?
T. Reed and Aldridge.
T.
I
Reed
love
and Josh
them.
Aldridge.
They are the best. And doing the recruiting and doing the official visits, everybody was great. I mean, all the visits was great. But I truthfully, in my heart, sitting down with a couple of the coaches, it seems to me that they took out more time to really recruit DeMarcus, because they were doing things that was behind the scene that they showed to him that really brought a lot out to show that they really wanted him. And I was very proud that they took out the time to work on that, to show him what would improve, that he was a good player, but also what would improve his playing.
Grandma Riddick, hey, this is
Oh.
Jay here. How important is that to you when a coaching staff shows interest in your son beyond what they can do for him on a football field? How important is that to see them recruit?
After a while, on the doing recruiting, after a while, it's like a speech. Everybody's giving you this, giving you that, giving you this, giving you that. You're going through the academics, you're going through all this, and we're going to show you how to do this, and we're going to show you how to do that. Well, I'm bad with names, but at Auburn, the linebacker coach, I'm bad with names. I'm sorry. I've been working
Coach Aldridge, I hear you.
Yes. He brought him in, and he was actually, when he was coming to recruit him, to see him, he was actually undercover taping him, watching him. He was tweaking the little things that would improve him. And for him to take out the time to do that and to show DeMarcus that really showed us that he wanted him and what he could do for him. And I really thank him for that. Nowhere else that we went was ever shown. They was like, we're gonna get you there and we're gonna do this and do that. But nobody never showed him. And I saw the look on his face when he told him that, how much he appreciated that. And that made a big difference.
Well, Grandma Riddick, I wanted to ask you. I had a visit with DeMarcus back in, I guess it was February. Went to Chilton County High School, talked with him. I left that talk, and this was, again, in February, thinking, hey, Auburn's got a real shot with this guy, with DeMarcus. I really believed it. He said some things that made me believe it, had the relationship with Josh Aldridge that he was building, like you alluded to there. When I didn't get to talk to DeMarcus at his ceremony the other day, but when do you think he knew it was going to be Auburn? And how long has he been thinking about Auburn in that way?
Well, it was a toss-up. And when we was doing our official visits, the started 1st of June. Mm-hmm. And on Father's Day, he actually told his father where he was going.
That's right.
And that was our official last visit, which was Alabama. On our way home, he told him that he was going to Auburn. He told him not to let us know. So we were in the dark until he officially gave his mother the present with the hat in it. So he officially knew after his visit where he was going. His last official visit, he knew where he was going.
That's right. It was June the 18th. His dad actually told me that yesterday. He said on Father's Day, we were coming home, I believe, from the Alabama visit, and he looked over and said, I'm going to Auburn. So it's been since.
Yes, sir, he did.
5 and a half,
And one
6
thing
weeks.
about it, what people don't understand is with these young guys, these young men, that this is a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah.
And as a family, when we sit down to dinner and I go over to visit them or when I see him, I'm not pressuring. Where are you going, baby? Have you made a decision? This. Let them alone. They hear it enough when they're out.
Mm-hmm.
They, from the fans and from the crowds and, from schoolmates and all that. Let them have a break from all that when they come home. Let them decide. So we let him make his decision. When he wants to discuss it with his daddy and let him know whether he wants to go, that was it. And we left it at that.
Well said. Well said, Grandma Riddick.
Grandma Riddick, we thank you so much for calling in. I loved meeting you. You're a beautiful woman.
Yes, sir, I did love meeting you too.
Thank you so much. Hey,
thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Let me know when you come back. I'll buy you dinner one night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will. Y'all have a nice night.
Yes, ma'am. You too.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much, Grandma. Grandma Riddick, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, and when somebody was like, "That's Grandma Riddick," yesterday, and I was like, "I've got to go meet her." Beautiful lady, and I'm not talking about. Oh, she's pretty and she's attractive. Don't get me wrong, man. She's just beautiful,
The
beautiful,
soul,
and
right?
so is the mom and dad. I mean, just damn good people. Love talking to them. Happy belated birthday to Mom, by the way. DeMarcus got her the birthday present on Wednesday. I think she turned 27. So happy birthday to her. But the dad, I love talking to him. He was a very genuine guy. I had a really good time. Three wonderful people that I love meeting good people. Love meeting good people, and they certainly were. Listen, we're not stopping with special guests yet.
No.
We've got another special guest for you people. He is the 4-star quarterback commitment from Little Rock, Arkansas. I got a great story here. I hope we talk about this. Mr. Walker White. Go find him for me, Zach.
Walker, you're live, man.
Oh, so anticlimactic, Walker. Come on. When we put you on the line, you got to speak, brother.
No.
We're trying. We're trying. Keep talking. He must be back in Arkansas.
Oh, you know he is. He's talking on a CB radio right
Got
now.
that one bar cell signal. Let me tell you why we're trying to get him. Keep trying that, but I will tell you a quick story on Walker from Saturday. And his brothers, man. So he's got 3 brothers there. 3 older. I think he's the 4th, and he's got a smaller, younger sister. But he had 2 uncles there, Mr. Gabe, Mr. John David, awesome guys. I was over at the intramurals this Saturday morning. I was over at the intramurals in the shade, writing a story before I got up to the complex, because once you get to the complex, man, it's hard to get anything done because everybody's moving and talking and moving and approaching you and talking and wanting to get this and let me tell you this. And so it's hard to get anything done. So I pull over to the intramural fields, and I'm sitting there finishing up, and this truck pulls up beside me. He says, "Excuse me, sir, can we get out there?" Hey, Mr. Lee. I was like, "Hey, man, it was Walker White." It was Walker White, and he had this a Yukon. Yes, there he is. I'm going to finish my story with him on the phone. Yes, Walker, we got you, big dog.
Well, let's go. What's up?
All right, there he is. That sounds good.
Yes, sir.
What's happening, Walker? Did you make it back to Arkansas?
I made it home, and we're safe, and we're having some pizza right now. Yes, sir.
Oh, what'd you get on your pizza?
Well, I only order sausage. You know, the good stuff.
Freaking quarterbacks, man.
Okay.
That's a quarterback pizza if I've ever heard one. I'm surprised you don't have pineapple on there. Walker, let me finish my story real quick. Did you hear the first part of it?
No, sir.
Okay, so I pulled over at the intramural field Saturday morning to finish the story before I went up to Big Cat, right? Because I couldn't get anything done at Big Cat once you get there. And you pull up, you and your 3 brothers and your 2 uncles. I think it was Uncle John David and Uncle Gabe, if I'm not mistaken. Was that right?
Uncle John Aaron.
That's what I said. So,
Uncle Gabe.
And they've got these high fences around the intramurals locked up everywhere, man. So, Walker wanted to throw. You know, he couldn't throw there. I was like, well, Auburn High School, let's go over there. So I'll take you over there. I'll show you where it is. So they follow me over to the high school. Well, we get to the high school, and the high school's got like fences up too. And I'm going, man, like we can scale that fence now. But here's the thing. I don't know if Walker White wants to do that, right? And his brothers and his uncle, right? So we pull in, and I'm like, how am I going to tell Walker this? Like, hey, dude, I'll climb that thing. I'll scale that son of a bitch. You know, I'll get it. So, and I'm like, I just don't know if Walker's going to be okay with that. Dude, I could park the car, my truck. Before I could even get out, his brothers were over. They had scaled the fence, dude. They had made a way. And here comes Bryce Kane and his mom and dad. And I was like, man, these are my people, dude.
No, Jeffrey, I think what we ended up doing is the gate was able, it wasn't connected. So we just set it down. We just kind of took it apart.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
went on in.
Yeah, that was great. It was very hot. Bryce Kane went out there, ran some routes, and Walker threw with him. It was like it was in camp. But Walker, big day, big week for Auburn, man. Talk to us about your feelings on where things stand as of today.
And as of today, I feel like Auburn is, and the coaching staff is putting together something that will forever be remembered. You know, I mean, we flipped 2 5-stars in the span of 4 days and gotten
another 4-star, and there's some other things that have happened that I can't say much about, but I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling really good about this recruiting class. When we were all there, all the commits were there together. We have this Snapchat group chat of all the commits, and we were talking the whole weekend, and we all just the biggest thing I took away from this weekend is how well we all get along. So we were having just tons of fun with the scavenger hunt. You know, we like, if you were on campus, you would see literally probably every athlete that was there, like full dead sprint. Like, you would think we were running a 40-yard dash. Go from station to station for the scavenger hunt. It was hilarious. Everyone was buying in. It was just such a well put weekend by the staff, and you know, we all of us commits just really got along, and you could really feel that if you were with us. And you know, it was just such a fun day. And when Perry committed, we threw Coach Freeze in the pool, and then he started doing tricks off the diving board. It was just such a perfect and fun weekend. My parents have asked me, they're like, Walker, how'd you like it? And I was like, it couldn't have gone any better. It was just so much fun. It was it was just very well put together, and we got some great athletes out of it. So very excited about what lies next.
Walker, we're kind of spilling like when we knew, and DeMarcus's grandmother was just on here with us, and you know, going back to Father's Day for him, he was coming to Auburn. Perry Thompson's been coming to Auburn for about 6 or 7 weeks now as well. Did you kind of know those two were headed towards AU?
I kind of knew about Perry. I had a good idea about Perry. He, you know, especially with him visiting so much, you would kind of start to pick up. I'm like, all right, he obviously likes Auburn. But, you know, I think me and a bunch of the other commits just we were just all very confident that he was going to make that flip. Now, DeMarcus, on the other hand, I think we had a great chance with, but I never really like had a for sure like decision in my mind. I didn't know. For Perry, I knew. But DeMarcus was like, I was watching his live broadcast, and I was working out, and I pulled up the live broadcast, and whenever he pulled out that Auburn hat, it was just a sigh of relief. Like, I thought he was going to go to Auburn, but once he finally did it, I was like, all right, let's ride. Like, that's good. And it created more momentum. And now getting Malcolm and Perry, I mean, that momentum flip is just crazy. And there's tons of attention on Auburn right now, and hopefully it'll attract other commits as well, or other recruits.
You know, the defense, surprisingly, this class is dominant, or it has been dominated by the defensive side of the ball. But let's don't lose sight of Malcolm Simmons. Man, he's kind of getting lost in the shuffle here, right? Malcolm Simmons is a dang good player.
Yeah, he is.
You know, Walker, I think you threw to him at camp.
Do what?
I think you threw to Malcolm Simmons at camp.
Yes, sir.
Him and Bryce Kane both were there that day you were there.
Yes. And listen, Malcolm and Bryce, I was going with Bryce, and Bryce is, I mean, it's kind of hard to explain the talent with the receivers we have so far without actually y'all just seeing it. But the talent with the receivers we have, with Bryce being fast, and my guy can jump, and he's just got the best hands I've ever seen. Malcolm is just so twitchy, he's so athletic, and his routes, I mean, he's just so in and out quick. Perry's just an all-around dog, fast. He's a huge target, very just thick and long, and he's just so athletic. So just with those three guys right there, I mean, it's crazy how just in the past couple weeks that the offensive side for the receiver standpoint has just totally flipped. And it's very exciting for me as a quarterback, for me being able to get to throw guys like that. And we're working on a couple other guys, or one more guy. So hopefully we can seal the deal with that guy. But it's not Quavian Carr, actually. We're trying to get Nye with us, and I think he had a great weekend. So it was, you know, just picking up Perry and Malcolm in one day, for me, is like, you know, I couldn't have asked for anything better. So it was awesome.
Did you get to talk to Nye? He left today, Walker, around noon, and we had just missed him. but from everything that I've heard, it went really well. Nykar, for all those that don't know, is a 4-star wide receiver from Georgia who is committed to Georgia. He was in Auburn on Saturday. He spent the night and left on Sunday. Spent a lot of time with Marcus Davis. He is absolutely a guy Auburn would love to flip. Did you get to spend some time with him?
I did. I got to talk a lot with him when we were at that pool party, and you know, he was very easy to talk to. As we were leaving, he was still in Coach Davis's room, just chopping it up with some of the other guys. But I mean, I think he loved it. I think he had a great time, and I loved connecting with him. And I think, you know, me and him connected very well, and he was very conversational with me. So I'm pretty confident about Nyquavian. I don't know for sure. I know he told me that he'd be going to a couple games at Auburn, so hopefully I'll catch him there. But I mean, I think if we stay on him, we have a chance of getting him for sure.
Walker, who's next on your list? I mean, with KJ announcing Saturday, Jalewis Solomon is also another guy who's announcing Saturday. Are those kind of guys? Are you working on those two? Are y'all working on those two?
Yeah, for sure. I think KJ's the main guy we're focusing on right now, just because his commitment is coming up so early. And I think all of the commits are doing such a great job of expressing. We got Jamarian Fat, we got Malcolm Perry, we got Amon Lane, Jane Lewis, Martavis. All these guys, all these commits are out publicly on Twitter saying we want KJ, and we're hitting him up, and you know, we're doing everything we can, just trying to make sure that he knows if he commits, like, these are the guys you're rolling with. But we're just trying to, you know, we're trying to get that last itch effort with him, and all the commits are doing such a great job. I love going on Twitter, or I guess X now.
Yeah.
I love going on X and seeing Perry's tweet saying, you know, come on home, DeAndre Carter, like,
yeah,
you know, and seeing Perry talk to KJ yesterday, man, like, he was saying, man, like let's go, like, let's make this class special. You know, it's just a bunch of collective effort right now for KJ right now. But I also just talked about DeAndre Carter. He's
right.
Also,
Forgot about him.
We're also hoping to get. I think he had a great time, and Perry understands that we got to get them O-line too. So seeing that tweet from Perry saying, come on home at DeAndre Carter I love seeing that, just because it's cool to see all the commits come together for one goal. But KJ for sure is the main guy we're focusing on right now. And then, you know, we're obviously trying to get some O-line. So we're trying to get Reese Baker, DeAndre Carter. We just saw that Ole Miss O-line decommit, so we'll see where that goes. But that's kind of our thought process right now.
Offered another Ole Miss commit. I think it wasn't the same one, was it, Cole? The one I saw one decommit.
Yeah, one decommitted, and they offered one today who is still committed to Ole Miss.
Okay.
So, yeah, a couple more guys there.
Walker, what's your plan for the rest of the summer, big dog? When do you guys get started? When does your season start? And if and when you're coming back to Auburn, I would imagine you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we start fall camp Monday. So we'll do 3 days of just helmets, and then Thursday we'll get into pads, and then we'll be practicing 5 days a week from then on until season starts. Our first game is the 18th of August, and that's just kind of like a little benefit game where we play an actual game, but it doesn't really count. It's kind of like a pre-season game. And then our first non-conference game is the following week, and we'll have 3 home games in a row against Central, Shiloh, and then Lake Hamilton. Lake Hamilton's our first conference game. And then for my plan of going back to Auburn, I'm positive I'm going to the Georgia and Alabama game for sure. So I don't know if any other games end up working as well, I'll go to those.
Sure.
But I know for sure I'm going to the Bama and Georgia game.
Have you set your official visit yet?
Not yet. No,
Okay.
sir.
All right. I didn't think so. I was filling out my brackets the other night.
I was thinking about making it the Georgia game. That's kind of been my thought process because that's my bye week. So I'm just still trying to plan around that.
You know who else has it planned for that weekend? I think it's KJ. I think it's KJ Bolden.
Is it KJ?
He's scheduled for the Georgia game.
Did he plan? So he planned an OV after his commitment.
Yes. Now, whether or not he takes it, I guess likely will depend on what he does Saturday.
Right.
But he does have it. And I think Amir Jackson, Walker, the big tight end that's committed to Florida, also is scheduled to come in that
Trying
weekend.
to get him as well.
He is, let's see, KJ is scheduled for, I think it's September 30th.
I think it was the Georgia game. Yeah.
It's the Georgia game for sure.
Well, now it says October the 6th.
Yeah, we had a couple different dates, but I think it was the Georgia weekend. But could depend on his commitment. But that's
October 6th.
I think
Auburn's off that weekend.
And recruits will be at the Georgia game as well. So I think a lot of us will be there anyway.
That date can't be right, Walker. Auburn has a bye that weekend, October the 6th. It's Georgia weekend. It's September the 30th. But we'll see what happens Saturday. Walker, appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate you calling in. Appreciate everything you do. I love meeting your uncles, John and Aaron.
And Gabe,
right.
yes, sir.
And Uncle Gabe, he explained the cattle business to me. So now I'm ready to become a rancher.
Yeah, he knows all about them cattle. That's what he does for a living.
Well, that's awesome, man. Learned a lot. Like meeting those guys, like meeting you and your brothers, man. Glad you guys made it safe back home. Tell your mom and dad I said hello, and we'll talk to you again, Walker.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, buddy. Okay, Mr. Walker White. Awesome, man.
Star-studded first three callers right there.
Right? Have we ever had people that trended on Twitter more than the three that we just had?
Man, I'm just sitting here listening, man. I'm enjoying the show just like y'all are.
Let me finish about this. I think this is important about Grandma Riddick, and we're talking about, man, Auburn fans. Listen, do not tweet at these guys negatively. Like, if you want to have a chance with them later, I mean, don't do it anyways. But wish them good luck. Thanks for considering us. Best of luck to you in the future, man. We'll be pulling for you. Leave it at that. Do not be like the other fans. Don't be I think his name was Doo-Doo. The guy C-Doo or something like that. C-Boo.
Of course his name is that.
Yeah, it was anyways. Don't be like that guy.
Or, just don't say anything.
Or if you do it, just say "Roll Tide" after you get done.
RBR. All right, we've got some more callers on the line. There's that.
That might be an understatement, but we'll get through as many as we can.
All right.
All right, we'll try to boom and boom. All right, let's try to hit it and quit it.
Logan, you're live, man, kicking us off.
Hey.
Oh boy. How are you guys going to put me in this situation following
the worst spot, Logan? You're batting cleanup.
No, that's okay, Logan. It's fine. I like it.
The pressure's on here, man. I don't know. I was feeling fine going up into this show, and then it's like all of a sudden that hangover started to hit after Walker White. It's like, oh boy. Oh man, I just gotta say, what a weekend, guys. That was an absolute blast yesterday. My How About You doesn't have as much, validity as you guys does, but I got to give it How About You to everyone on the board.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw one out to you, Cole, Jay Lee, feet on the ground in Auburn. Man, y'all had that shit hype and that thread. It was awesome, guys. I'm going to give you a special shout out, Cole, for Friday popping into that Twitter space. I know you were busy. And I know it's not easy to stomach me in the space after I'm a few brews deep, but yeah, I do appreciate you timing in there, man. It's just been an amazing weekend. It was a great time. I do want to thank you guys personally I'm going to say it for everyone. Everyone's very appreciative. But I also want to thank the members of the board.
Hey, Dylan Cinda just committed to Auburn.
Did he really?
He did. I got my story ready to go. I'm about to put it up. Sorry, Logan. Y'all can keep talking, dude. I'm going to get this out.
Yeah, go ahead and drop out. We got you.
Well, shoot, now you're making me want to go search around as to what might have happened, but I'll just wait for you to post it on there. But
Dylan sent a transfer offensive lineman from weekend, guys. I'm sorry, Logan. Real quick.
I mentioned it earlier.
Maybe I'm out.
It's possible to get
go ahead, Jeff,
to pull the numbers of impressions they're on Auburn Live, because I know for a fact that had to have been the busiest day on any Auburn or on any On3 message board. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, we have over 4,000 replies, 100 pages. Oh boy, we really showed out. So I gotta give everyone a shout out on that. Like it was good. So looking forward to next year's Big Cat.
Logan, I don't know if you can see the views, man, but I think we hit 600,000 today on that thread.
Yes.
Golly.
And I think
I would love to get that up to 1 million, but yeah. Hey, we'll take 600,000. That 1 million could be a goal for next year.
There you go. We'll keep building up, man.
Yeah, and Cole, I wanted to ask you about because your britches were moving when you were talking about all these frames that were walking in. Like, who had the best frame?
Man, you know what? I think it's going to go to a 2025 recruit. That would be the younger brother of Keldrick Falk, Caleb JJ Falk. Oh my gosh, guys! He's got the look. He's absolutely got the look.
Oh, Starburst definitely has the look. That's for sure.
No doubt. A couple other guys.
We're talking about a 25 kid that could still probably pack on some size, man.
Oh no, he's got plenty of room to grow. I mean, you're talking about an inside linebacker or an outside linebacker that could be 6'4", 6'5", 245, 250 pounds and have all that athleticism.
Yeah,
I mean, his feeling's ridiculous.
He's going to walk down and be an edge, in my opinion. I don't think he's going to be able to stay at inside linebacker.
Yeah, you can only think that having that plug with his brother is going to help in that recruitment. I don't know exactly where we stand with him, but I would only imagine that we're sitting in a pretty good spot. It's a long time, for these 25 guys to actually make their final decision. We're talking about December of next year. But, if he is one of those guys, if he does possibly commit, that's one of those that I would still feel pretty good to hold on to, that like ending that 25 class on signing day. There's not too many people I feel comfortable with saying that for those 25 guys. But if he were to commit, you got to feel pretty good throughout the longevity of his recruitment.
And I don't think he's the only 2025 guy you should feel good about. Hey, I'm going to be honest with you on that. I think Auburn did some serious damage yesterday with the 2025. Probably not as much as they did with 2024, but they've made some major headway. Coach Freeze and that staff prioritize several of these kids. They want to make sure that they get that 25 class in better shape rolling into this coming January than what they found this 2024 class in. And they made some moves, man. They some head-turning type moves. So be prepared. We can't talk about all that, but be prepared that there should be some news coming out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, there's a ton of anticipation for this 24 class, but I mean, watch out for that 25 class. I'm going to throw it out there for you, Jhead. That proof of concept on the field this year, and once these players, those 25 players, see that, like we're building something special now for this 24 class, but watch out for 25.
I agree.
Yeah, brother, we got I'm sure we have a ton of callers. So yeah, I'm going to keep my time on here short. But I did promise Ward Granny that I'd give her a shout out. Like Jay Lee said, man, she's great, sweet as can be, but boy, does she not shy away on Twitter. You got to love her. As an Auburn fan, you got to love her.
You got to love her in general, brother. Anybody that can provide that kind of message and that kind of insight into what it's like for these young men to go through a tough recruitment and then to be able to, in a way that only a grandmother can, uniquely kind of, curb stomp various fans saying mean things on Twitter. It's a great way to see. But Logan, we probably got to go to the next caller. Zach's looking antsy on me over there right now. He's ready to flip the dial because I think we got about 15 more people on the line. But brother, we love you. Thank you for everything. You're one of those passionate fans that we couldn't do what we do here on On3 without you. So just really appreciate you and all the things that you do.
100%.
I appreciate it, Jhead. Love you guys. You take care. Have a good evening.
Appreciate you, Logan. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to give you some time to talk about the commitment before we go into the next caller.
Y'all give me
I thought I was muted. Y'all didn't catch me burp, did you?
No.
Okay, all right.
We didn't catch that, brother.
I was like, Then I thought, can they hear me? Anyways, Northwestern offensive lineman Dylan Senda has committed to Auburn. He announced his commitment just a minute ago, man. He signed with Northwestern in 2023, so he's a guy who's got a lot of playing time left. He's basically a 2023 addition. So you add another high school offensive lineman to this 2023 class that just showed up to Auburn. He'll be on campus and starting school this fall. So he's a true freshman at Auburn. He got out of his national letterman team. Now, listen, this is not just some Northwestern lineman. This dude chose Northwestern over like Michigan, Iowa, Michigan State, Michigan, and Iowa. This is a dude now. 4 years of high school, started every game. He started at center. He started at guard. He started at left tackle as a senior. This kid can do it all state, all pro in the state of Michigan. He is a dude, and he is he's technically a transfer. But I wouldn't consider him a transfer, but technically he is.
No, he retains his one-time because of the unique situation of his head coach being fired. He retains that one-time free transfer. So technically he's not a transfer. He's been released from his
NIL.
NLI, yeah.
But so not a guy who's going to come in and like a season transfer and compete for immediate playing time, but a guy who just made your room a lot better, brought that floor up some. I would think so.
Yes.
Let's keep it going. Zach in the back. Let's get to as many as possible. So we'll try to do it. Appreciate you, Logan.
4003. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Gentlemen, this is Carter Mullen from Brookhaven. I just wanted to say thank you all so much for sending me that picture. That meant the world to me. And let me just give a shout out to my Bama bride won't like hearing this, but let me just give a shout out to all the Georgia and the Bama folks. You know what? We've waited on this moment for so long, and how about you?
How about you?
I like it, Carter. I like it.
And you know what? I listen to it all the time up here about how great Georgia is and everything. Well, guess what? It's finally our time. And we have waited on this moment, and it's not over with. It's far from being over with, but the feeling followed recruiting like I have and like y'all do, like the feeling that I felt this week was like nothing I've ever felt. And it's just been amazing. And I just wanted to get y'all guys' take on how fast you think that that we could get DeAndre Carter in the boat. I know I called in and talked about him maybe a month and a half ago, and I just had a feeling that this guy was special. And I'm so glad that the work they put in seems to have paid off. And he's not in the boat yet, but I have a great feeling about this guy.
All right. Hey, Carter, thank you so much, big dog. Tell you Bama bride from me. And but DeAndre Carter, like you said, and we appreciate it, Carter. Sure do, buddy. DeAndre Carter, I put in a prediction for him this morning. I think Auburn's in a very good spot for him. Texas, Michigan State also in there as well. Obviously, proximity to home, being from LA, is not an issue to him. But for a guy to use his official visit last month, turn around 6 weeks later, and come back on his own dime across the country tells you a lot. I talked to his dad yesterday. I met him on his previous visit. Awesome people, great fit. Being from just really good people, man. And I don't think the transition from LA to Auburn will be a problem. I like Auburn here. I think we all do. Does anybody disagree with me, Cole?
Nope, and I'm going to join you on that RPM prediction as soon as we get off this show.
There you go.
And I say I like it, and I think I'm going to like it very soon with regard to a commitment timeline, and I'll leave it at that.
I taped a show this morning. I just kind of hope he waits till tomorrow, because if he were to pop tonight, which we're on the show, that whole taping will be for naught. And it's only what, 5:30 over there, so we still got to sweat it out for a little bit longer. Good stuff, Carter. We appreciate you, big dog. Keep us going there, Zach.
2457. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
How about you, fellas? This is Sky Underwood, and I'm calling you from the beautiful, beautiful Gulf Coast on the Gulf of Mexico. with my toes in the white sand, celebrating my birthday weekend with the absolute best Big Cat weekend of my existence. I'm still pinching myself, gentlemen. I'm still on cloud nine, like the entire Auburn family is. And first and foremost, I need to commend On 3 Auburn Live for you guys, the way y'all handled Big Cat, your coverage of Big Cat, Pink, and Jeffrey, and the whole team was second to none. So, standing applause for that.
Appreciate that, Sky,
Yes,
man.
sir.
It means a lot to me, man. Happy birthday, by the way, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you, brothers. I tell you, man, I don't remember ever feeling like this as an Auburn fan. I'm 46 years old, man. And I remember, was it 2009 when Chiswick and Trooper and Looper, they created Big Cat essentially, and Lake Seastrunk and Marcus Lattimore and the linebacker from Connecticut. And just a bunch of kids are down there. But I've never seen this much talent assembled for one specific Big Cat. And Hugh Freeze has been only on the job for a little over 7 months, maybe 8 months, and he's been able to take recruits that Alabama and Georgia, the two best teams in college football, with the two best head coaches in college football, that those guys desperately wanted, that were at the top of their boards. And Auburn has been able to flip those guys to the plane. So wouldn't you guys say this type of recruiting at Auburn is unprecedented?
Hey, Sky, I'm gonna tell you, man. You know, if the narrative really is to flip the script, and Jhead, you know how I feel about proof of concept, and we talk about that. But a true flip of the script would be getting it done before you have to show anything. That means we know how to recruit, and we don't need, we don't absolutely have to have proof of concept either. We can get it done that way. And that's something that I never foresaw, even though back in the day when we had a show and talked about who might be Auburn's next head coach, I said Hugh Freeze was a guy that I thought about before Harsin was even hired. That's a guy that I thought would be a great fit at Auburn. He's a great recruiter. We knew that. Don't even go any further than that. We knew that. So match him up with Auburn. I've always thought, that Auburn was one of those schools that could do it. No matter what, you got to have the right person in charge, right people in charge. And I think there's a lot of people on that staff, along with Hugh Freeze, that have figured out how to flip that script. They've done that, and I think they're still going.
Yeah. To validity to your point, I think it's unprecedented from the head coach level to recruit the way Hugh Freeze has. We've had fantastic assistant coaches as recruiters. I mean, you just mentioned a few in Looper and Trooper and Tommy Thigpen, Damian Craig, and multiple others that have really been able to help Auburn elevate its status in the recruiting world.
Tavares Robinson.
A coach that attacked recruiting the way Hugh Freeze has and has the ability to relate to people on multiple levels, not just about football, but about intrapersonal parts of their lives, and can speak to just so many. The range of people is what makes him
absolutely
so good at what he does. So while it's not unprecedented from a ranking standpoint, because Gene Chiswick did put up 2 top 5 classes in back-to-back years in 2009 and 10, it's trending that way. And if you get KJ in the class come this Saturday, and Jalewis Salmon and DeAndre Carter and Bradley Shaw, it just kind of starts an avalanche, right? And other guys are looking at this like, what is Auburn really all about? Mm-hmm. What is, what's
going on?
Right. Do I want to be a part of this? Do I want to officially visit Auburn? And so you're right. I think it could reach a level that it hasn't reached before. It hasn't yet. But from the head coaching level, I have never seen a recruiter in my time following Auburn recruiting. I've never seen a head coach recruit the way Hugh Freeze has and has the ability to. So from that standpoint, and that linebacker from Connecticut, Kari Fort, I believe is the name.
Ooh,
absolutely.
Pulled that
I think
one.
I believe he signed with Penn State, Jhead. I can't remember.
I believe you're right.
He did, and I don't think he ever did a thing.
Of course.
Hey, good stuff, Sky. We appreciate you, B-Dog.
Jeffrey, I'll let you go after this, but I want you to touch what do you think is it that makes Hugh Freeze so different as far as recruiting goes? He obviously has the it factor. He possesses something that not many coaches possess. And I think he and Auburn are a match made in heaven.
Absolutely.
And credit to Jake Crane, because he said that Auburn and Hugh Freeze needed each other. And in hindsight, they absolutely did. And it's like, I believe Hugh truly, truly appreciates the second opportunity to come into the big into the SEC and Auburn showing him grace by giving him that opportunity. And his passion for recruiting matches the passion of the Auburn family for this program. Love what you guys do. Keep on doing it. War down.
Appreciate you, Sky. Happy birthday, big dog. Be safe down there, all right?
Great call.
Jhead, I thought you hit it on the nose about Hugh Freeze. That I couldn't verbalize that nicely as you did, but that's exactly what that's exactly what I wish I could say when Sky asked me that question, because he can relate in so many different levels.
Yeah.
He can be here with the grandma and turn around and go here with the with the teenager, with the kids, with the grand. I mean, he can do it all. I've seen him do it, man. I've seen how he works. We've heard about him getting up at 4 a.m. and texting recruits and getting recruits sent. Dude, he knows the importance. He's already said that 2024, 2025 will be my legacy here. Whether or not it's going to be a good one or not will depend on those two classes. Good stuff, Sky. We appreciate you. Zach, what you got for us, big dog?
5960. You're live. Who we talking to? Where you calling from?
I know that number.
What's going on, Big Cat?
All right, man.
Edward, my dog, man. I was just talking to Derek Smith about you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, man.
Edward, let me ask you this. When did you say you graduated high school?
Oh, man, I graduated in 99.
Okay, that's what I thought. You're in your 40s.
I'll be 42 September, man.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I know Derek Smith pretty good. Derek Smith works for my wife right now, so I know him.
Okay.
We're with him. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a good kid. I got to talk to him after he was one of the first to leave. He had somewhere to go. He had to be back home yesterday, but he was there. He was a very nice young man. Really enjoyed talking to him. I'm going to have a story up on him probably later tonight or in the morning. But Edward, talk to us, big dog. What did you think about yesterday?
Hey, man, I don't get too high, too low, man. I will stay even keel. I love it, but the truth be told, that's what Auburn's supposed to do. We one of the most prestigious universities in the country. That's what we're supposed to do. We just got the right leadership in place. I ain't jumping up and down. We Auburn. Yeah, we ain't no Troy. We ain't no Alabama State. We Auburn University. We supposed to get the best of the best.
I love it.
Evan said, "Act like you've been there before."
Act like you've been there before.
It's
Act
business.
like you're supposed to be there.
I ain't no second class university, man. I'm Auburn University, baby. That orange and blue means something. That ANU on the side of the helmet, that means something, man. I'm Auburn University. I'm supposed to be able to go scout. I want him. Go get it. That's what we got the right man to do that. But I was calling the old Cole, messing with my brother old Cole. Cole, I believe, man, you was talking to some of the same people about Mr. Riddick, man, because it played out just like I said, man.
You sure did.
He had real love for Auburn, man. I told you 2 weeks ago, I said, when I talked to some people from Tilton County, when I said I talked to some people, man, I don't just talk to no local jokers, man. I talk to some people. Hey, man, I think it's Auburn, man. Hey, I know Alabama. Man, what about Dick, man? He's riding in it. He's, man, hey, it's Auburn, man. I really couldn't believe it, and I didn't want to just say that because anything can happen. But hey, man, you don't worry about Alabama. He's going to Auburn. Like, damn, really? Yeah, he's going to Auburn. Damn. Even my boy Kyrie Fort, you just mentioned Jhead. I'm good friend with Kyrie Fort, man. Me and his mother is good friends, man. His uncle up there in Connecticut, man.
Wait a minute now, Edward, back this up for me, brother. Now, how you know somebody from Bridgeport, Connecticut?
Man, Edward just not local, man.
He's national.
Said, I'm
That's
international.
not a local
No,
dude, man. I be trying to tell y'all, bro. I know people. Kyrie Fort mother and me is good friends, man. His uncle, all of us are friends.
Wow.
I love it.
Do they live down here?
No, they don't live here. His uncle just moved here.
Huh.
Really?
What a small world.
Yeah. Kyrie, I'm going to tell you, if you ever drunk a water called 1186 water, made on Talksville, Alabama.
Really?
Wow.
Yes, Kyrie's mother is part owner of that company. Yes.
Gracious.
That's how I met her.
What are the odds of us talking about Kyrie Fort, Edward calling in and
wild.
saying, I know him and know his mom? That's crazy.
Hey,
Yeah.
Edward ain't lying, man. Jeremiah Wright knows him too. I talked to Jeremiah yesterday about Edward.
Oh, I believe it. Jeremiah's probably gonna be front row when Edward opens up that new restaurant down there.
So-
He got a house.
Man, I can't feed all them big ass boys down there. Don't send them my way. I can't do nothing with them, man. Eat all at home, man.
You gotta keep them out.
Hey, but the thing looking good, man. I'm finna decompress because Auburn football sometimes it mess with my mental. I got to decompress season. I got a month, so for the next, you might not hear me for a week or two because what I got to do is I got to take my wife on some dates. We got to have some date nights. We got to do a lot of things in this month because after kickoff, season start, Edward don't move from the house on Saturday. I'm gonna take this month to my wife. I got my first grandchild coming in November, and they scheduled the baby shower for LSU week. So thank God for Spectrum TV and ESPN app. So hoping it'll be a sister clock game. But I don't move. When only time I move on Saturday morning, go to the grocery store, give me some meat to put on my grill.
I hear you.
I ain't gonna take up time, man. I know y'all got a bunch of callers, man. Y'all have a good night.
Edward, we always appreciate you, big dog.
Man, you know what?
All right, bro.
Edward, it never fails. Every single time he calls in, he makes a point that I hadn't completely thought about yet.
He's fantastic.
Every time.
And he makes me smile when he does it too. You know what I mean? Like
Every time.
It's unique to be able to bring a new idea to the table and also crack a smile. Granted, it's easier on my face than it is on most, but
I liked it. Calm down,
I
people.
do too, man.
We're supposed to be here. Zach, keep us going, big dog.
Business. It's business.
3365. You're live. Who we talking to? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up? It's Bo from Moody.
Bo.
What's up,
Hey,
brother?
what did I tell y'all last week? Didn't I tell y'all we was going to get Riddick, Perry, and now we fixing to get KJ Bolden. It's a wrap.
Oh,
Hey. It's a wrap.
Bo's always had the best sources.
He's good, man. He was on it.
Hey, did I tell y'all that last week?
He did.
I sure did. And the guy, Nakar, he's coming to Auburn.
Feel good about that?
Yes, sir. 80%.
Oh.
80%. Wow.
Yes, sir.
You know, Nah is one of those guys that I went to see in February, and he was high on Auburn, guys. He was real high on Auburn. And his teammate Landon Thomas.
Yes.
Yep.
I remember thinking when he left that visit, I talked to him. Maybe it was both of us. But I was thinking, if I had done a hot board, I'd probably had Auburn the leader. He was genuinely excited about Auburn.
He was. I think it's a good call there, Bo. We'll see.
Bo from Moody.
DeMarcus is best friends with Nakar.
Oh.
I'm sure they're tight. They were both committed at around the same time in that Georgia class, so it would stand to reason that they would know each other relatively well.
Probably not a coincidence that
I
he
got
shows
one
up.
more question. The running back that's supposed to commit,
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
Caden Durham.
Who?
You talking about the kid from Texas? He changed his commitment date.
He's from California, I think, ain't he?
Oh no, you're talking
about Frazier.
Yeah,
Nate
Frazier. Yeah. Don't close your book on him either.
Okay.
That's DeAndre Carter's teammate, who actually on Saturday eliminated Auburn. Not eliminated. He had a top 4 that didn't include Auburn, but if DeAndre Carter commits, I think Auburn is confident they'll at least get an official visit from Frazier at some point during the season.
Oh, trust me, Auburn's in there. He's just not saying it.
Oh. Maybe that's why Duke Watson, we didn't see him yesterday.
It could be.
Well, y'all have a blessed one, man. I appreciate everything y'all do. God bless.
God bless, Bo. Appreciate you, big dog. Keep us rolling there, Zach.
All right, Bo.
5411. You're live. Who we talking to? Where you calling from?
What's going on? It's Big Pat.
Big Pat.
What's up, brother?
Man, I can't call it, man. Hell of a weekend, wasn't it?
Did you enjoy that, Big Pat?
Man, you look. I'm just so glad y'all got my boy. Y'all finally got him on board. And I'm telling you, he's a real deal.
I know.
He's a real deal.
I know who you're talking about. Nope, he's talking about Malcolm Simmons.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Pat called about Malcolm Simmons.
That's
probably
Benjamin Russell fella.
Yeah.
Yep.
You doggone right. Look, hey,
That's
gotta
right.
take care of the hometown now.
Tell us what we need to know about Malcolm, Big Pat.
I'm gonna tell you something. If we want to play running back, he can do it.
Yep.
Slot receiver can do it. DB can do it. Hell, he could even be an all SEC punter if we wanted it.
Correct.
Punter. Okay.
Yes, like I think he was like all state punter. He averaged like 43 yards per kick.
Dang.
It was 42.5. I looked it up on Max Preps the other day. And not only was he an all-state punter, I think he also placed in the state championship for the triple jump, as well as being a basketball
Yeah, he won.
Basketball team.
Yeah, he won.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know a lot of people
Wow.
Does that go out?
It might have. He was having trouble with it earlier. Big Pat, I mean, that's why I keep bringing him up.
That's a steal, man. That's a steal.
Yeah.
There he is.
Hey, listen, the guy who loves Malcolm Simmons, believe it or not, shares the same last name, Chad Simmons from On Three, loves Malcolm Simmons. Thinks the world of. I think he's got him as a top 150 player.
He does.
Is he?
Top 200, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, he's built like a running back.
I do got a question though. Outside of I know Reese Baker and Carter, who are the other linemen that we're looking at?
Just added a name to the board today. The Ole Miss commitment. Cole, you're gonna have to help me out here. I just saw it before I came on. I can pull it up on Twitter. I tell you what, Big Pat.
I thought he was trending to LSU. That guy.
Oh, the Louisiana kid.
Yeah, the one that decommitted from LSU. I thought he was trending to LSU.
He might be. I'd never heard of him until 2 hours ago. Let me pull up Cole's Twitter account because I think Cole.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now. See what his name is. Here it is. Jude. Can't think of his last name. All I got is
You've
Jude.
been tweeting today, man. I can't even.
Jude Foster.
Jude Baller Foster.
Yeah, so Big Pat, you got Jude Foster. That's the new name, and he very well may be trending to LSU and for a flip from Ole Miss, but I think that Auburn offer means something today, and try to get in touch with him. We'll see what happens. But you also had offensive lineman at Big Cat for 2024 who was committed to Mississippi State, Lockhart.
TJ.
Yeah.
I forgot about him. TJ Lockhart.
He and guys,
360, right?
Yes,
I was just
huge.
about to say he's listed 360. Yeah. I think that guy's heavier than 360, and it ain't bad.
Dude,
that's a man.
Okay, so he carries his weight pretty well.
He does, and he moves well. Now look, he's going to have to trim up a little bit, but I mean that is a big person who can move. I mean,
That's
one of the biggest
WWF
people-
big.
One of the biggest people I've ever seen.
Okay. You look. I'm all about the linemen. We got it.
Yes.
Look.
Look like a refrigerator coming through the door.
But yeah, man. Overall, man, I enjoyed the weekend, man. I enjoyed y'all coverage. I tell you, between being on Twitter Spaces and refreshing everything on Twitter, man, I tell you, it was a hell of a weekend. As an Auburn fan, it kind of made us all excited.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Big Pat. We certainly. I thought it went well. I thought it was. I don't think, for me personally, nothing will ever beat 2009, the first one, because it was they were trendsetters, man. Dude, nobody had this thing back in those days. Now everybody has an end of the summer bash. Trooper Taylor, Curtis Looper, those guys, that first one with all three of the top running backs, and dude, nothing will ever beat that for me personally. This was the second best, and I say that because history was made. Auburn flipped an in-state 5-star recruit at Big Cat 3 days after, and they had a 5-star, DeMarcus Riddick. I mean, it was just so, and of course, let's don't forget, Malcolm Simmons might end up being the best of them. Who knows? And then right. I think by this time next week, fellas, we could be talking about 2 or 3, 4, hell, depends on how well it goes, new commitments.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Hey, it's a beautiful time to be an Auburn fan. I think the last time we flipped somebody wasn't it what's the dude? He was 4-star linebacker.
Woodyard?
Yeah, Woodyard. That was the last time we flipped somebody from Bama, wasn't it?
And it really wasn't, Big Pat. And listen, hey, love Robert Woodyard. No knock on him at all. Alabama was not beating down his door to keep him. As a matter of fact, I think they were wanting to gray shirt him, which means to count him, bring him in and after this. So it wasn't like a head-to-head full-time flip, but I guess technically they did flip Robert Woodyard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, I want to give a shout out to my guys in the Discord. They already know who they are. Hey, y'all keep doing y'all thing and War Eagle.
Appreciate you, Big Pat.
All right, Pat. Appreciate it, man.
Have them meats ready for us. I think me and Cole had stopped by Big Pat's.
Oh,
hey, y'all definitely come on. Hey, look, come on, man. You know I'm gonna take care of y'all.
Hey, I like it, baby.
That's right.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Appreciate you, Big Dog. Good call there, Zach. Keep us going.
5. Oh no, they hung up right when I was about to call them. That's tragic.
So close.
1404. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Got
1404. You're live.
Hey guys, I want to make a prediction, a bold prediction about this year. I think Peyton Thorne will be the starter. But Robbie will be used in certain situations and he'll be used in red zone situations a lot. And maybe wildcat formations. And Jarquez, I think he'll be available for fall camp. And guys, I think, hear me out now, I think this Auburn team, by the end of the year, will beat Alabama in Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Hey, what was your name? What is your name?
This is Andy from Wetumpka, Alabama, also known as Auburn. Well, Auburn Anonymous.
Okay,
Andy. Twitter.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Hey, I think those are all good takes. I wouldn't argue with you. I think Robbie will be utilized absolutely.
Yes.
I think Jarquez will be out there. I don't know. I think Justin Hoganson has said maybe a 1-game suspension. Other than that, and listen, I think a couple of us believe that Auburn can beat Alabama. That might be a winnable game.
I can get on board with that even more than what you said about Robbie Ashford.
Would I predict it? No.
Right.
But can I paint you a picture where it happens?
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely can.
I'm not predicting it either, for the record, but
right. And because look, win the Ole Miss game. All right. Then go back. Go win the game.
Yes. That's
Then win the Vanderbilt game.
I'm really counting on right there.
Yeah, to me, that's the swing game. You win that one, and then the momentum starts to turn. Because, like I said, if you beat Ole Miss and then State and then Vanderbilt, and then you go on the road and you beat Arkansas, and Hugh Freeze is preaching in the locker room and the fans are going nuts, look, Jordan Hare will be an absolute just on fire when Alabama comes to town. And we all know that
I agree. Look, and my thing is, look, Brian Harson's first year, if we could have if we took them to 4 overtime with Bryce Young, just think what we can do with Hugh Freeze at the end of the year.
Fair, but I'll say that Derek Hall, T.D. Moultrie, and Kobe Wooden had monster impact on that game, and I don't know that we have anybody of that capability on the roster right now. Now we'll see when we get into fall camp, and that'll tell the
Jason Jones and with McAllister and McLeod and
yeah.
Look, I think this D line is going to be a beast.
You know who else was a big part of that game, Jhead? Marcus Harris.
It sure was.
Had a great game.
Yeah.
And Marcus Harris is back.
Yep.
Hey, it won't be long. Auburn gets started, I believe, on Wednesday. Fall camp kicks off. Won't be long now.
Yep.
We're about a month out.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Andy, we appreciate your call, big dog.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Appreciate it.
0300. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from? Zero 0300. You're live.
Hello.
How about you?
Is this on 3?
Hey, Coach. How are you?
This is Eagle 5 from Birmingham, Alabama.
Paging. Eagle 5.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great after this weekend. Hey, Jay Lee, and I spell it Jailei.
Of course.
I had sort of self-proclaimed not a recruit, Nick, but this weekend might be causing me to rethink that, brother.
It's a good time to be a recruit, Nick.
Are you kidding me? Coach Dye liked to say, and I probably should tip the hat to Coach Bryant that Coach Dye may have borrowed the line from, but there's a lot of competition about 40 hours a week. And if you're willing to put the work in past that, much less up to 60, 80 hours a week, then the competition thins out. And I just want to compliment you guys at On 3 for busting your tails with coverage. And I don't mean to besmirch any other site. They all have a particular brand and style. But and then it's befitting this Big Cat weekend, the obvious fact that our new head coach, Hugh Freeze, is willing to outwork, especially in recruiting, and we can only hope that translates into game planning and the practice field and everything that goes into winning a game. But Hugh Freeze is clearly putting the hours in, and he's willing, as has been observed by many, including you guys, he's willing to recruit like an assistant coach, calling these key targets on nearly a daily basis. And you know what that does? This is the first time I can say, and I'll shut up and let you guys react. It feels like, much like 2009, we are playing offense in recruiting, not defense. We have a plan and we're executing it and we're attacking it, even down to the way social media was choreographed to perfection to just create even more of a buzz. You guys agree?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Couldn't have said it better for myself, Eagle 5.
Yeah. You can see the experience of a prior SEC head coach coming into play right now with how everything is put together. And it's what Auburn has sorely needed for a long time, as somebody that has a veteran presence that understands what it looks like at the highest levels. And as from a recruiting perspective, you're right. They've even dialed it into the guys that they're targeting from a character standpoint of who are the guys that want to create their own legacy. We're not interested in taking guys that just want to be on another great team. We want to target guys that individually are looking to blaze their own path, a la going after Perry Thompson and selling him that pitch. I think that's how
almost shockingly, great point, Jhead, almost to the point that when you're differentiating a product, and we're coming off of a bad couple of years, and everybody knows that, but Hugh Freeze has found a way to go. It's almost like taking Tylenol after potassium cyanide had been stuck in the pills and rebranding it entirely. Y'all remember that horrible episode in America? And he's turned it on its face, and almost feels like if you go to one of these proven programs, you're a little bit scaredy cat. There's a little degree of cowardice in it. You don't want to pave your own way. And that has got to be driving a couple of our rivals crazy. And so you just look at it now. I think, Jay Lee, you're a little longer in the tooth like me, but I don't mean to drag you down with me in the year of your nuptials to the lovely Jessica, which may be a turning point in Auburn's fortunes. So we'll ride with that. But
I had the first 5-star.
Our rivals, our arch rivals, Alabama and Georgia, to their credit, I like to give credit when it's due, have been winning with Colin Powell's doctrine of overwhelming force. Now, if you can do that, great. Go do it. Coach Dye had a couple of those years, coverable, arguably 2004. But I think the new world order, that's going to be very hard to do. It's going to get diluted between 15 to 20 programs. So what if all of a sudden now, in the words of Lane Kiffin, that cheating is legal, and if you're Auburn, you're at least in a 20% range on 9 or 10 key targets, and all of a sudden we always had this special brand. How many of these players? What's a single? They use the F word, guys. Family, and if Auburn has that, and you can't go easily recreate that, and it's inauthentic when you try to, and you make the money side of things roughly equal or close enough, look out, brothers.
That's a great point. That's something that we've talked about a few times, man. You know, at some point, all of these NIL deals look the same.
Yes.
From everybody, from the Georgias, from the Bamas, from Florida State, from Clemson, Ohio State, Auburn. What is the deciding factor? What sets you apart? What makes you land this guy over those schools? And I think there's just an incredible level of awareness by Hugh Freeze and his staff, from everything down to the organization of the event, to getting the guys there, to how they treat them when they're there, and the families. Big deal. Promise you that. Even down to the social media, like you said, I thought they played it all well.
Just brilliant. And Cole, I should have thanked you for your relentless hard work with content and analysis, particularly of recruits. So thank you for that. I'll get out of your hair, guys. But we all need to remember that what's the signal, not the noise? The signal is when you flip a recruit, yes, you're landing that talent, but you're also, by definition, diluting the talent at these perennial powers the last 5 or 10 years. And their margin of error gets just a little bit thinner.
That's right.
And maybe there's some of these years where you need your arch rival to get beat by somebody else.
That's right.
So that the Georgia game or the Iron Bowl is a head-to-head tiebreaker instead of it's already over, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Very much so. And as the great Philip Marshall once said, you don't have to have the same number of impact players. You just got to have enough, and you got to keep away some from those other two teams that you can be playing year in and year out.
Yep.
Guys, appreciate you taking my call. I'll get out of the way, War Eagle.
Fantastic call, Eagle 5. Appreciate you, big dog. Oh, man, he's got some great insight, man. I always love talking to Eagle 5. Great caller.
Yeah.
We appreciate him, man.
That's
keep
a
us
new
going
one
there,
for me.
Zach. Yeah,
That's
he's
a new
awesome.
one,
You need to meet him. Great guy.
Love him. Yep.
7474. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
How about you fellas? It's Johnny Knox.
Johnny!
Golly.
Man, I mean, after such a momentous weekend, you're gonna roll it out with a big cat edition of the All-Star Roll Rules Auburn on Live show. I gotta try to stick my toe in the back door and slide in. That's the bouncer. I mean,
Slide in, big dog. Slide in.
Meme master Johnny Knox 07. For those who don't know that speaking right now, we credit him with some of the best artwork our board has ever seen.
Legend, dude.
There you go.
You're my inspiration, though. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Listen, he did do me wrong the other day.
Oh,
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, y'all know he did. You know you did. You know you did.
Hey,
Listen, the only reason I can do it is because you can handle it.
That's right.
Hey, there you go.
I know Jay Lee can.
There you go.
Oh, Johnny Knox.
Be mean.
He made me Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was, but like, yeah. What do you think about this weekend, Johnny Knox?
What?
What did you think about this weekend?
Oh man, I thought it went about as perfect as it could go. And I know Hugh Freeze is a master at maximizing the momentum of this week, and they're going to stretch this out as far as they can. I mean, Auburn, I've been saying that I feel like we've been mismanaged for the last 20 years. Either we had a guy who could coach who couldn't recruit, or a guy who could recruit and couldn't coach. This guy can recruit and coach. He's like a Baptist preacher. He's going to sell you a car and save your soul at the same time. I mean, this guy knows what he's doing. He's got the thing you can't teach. And I do think he's the perfect fit for Auburn. And I think this guy has got a chance to be the best coach since Pat Dye at Auburn. I mean, Auburn just needs to get out of its own way. That's all we've ever needed, is just get on the same page, get out of the way, and let Auburn do. We got the recruiting grounds, we've got the resources, we got the fan base. We could be, what these other teams are. We can compete, win 9-10 games every year, and have a chance to make a run every couple of years. There's no reason why we can't. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this season. I got season tickets. I go to all the games. I'm excited to go into the season knowing that, hey, we got a chance. We got a chance. Anytime we step on the field, we're going to have a chance, and we're not going to get our ass kicked at any time. I don't want to ever get blown out. I can handle getting beat, but I don't ever want to get blown out. Don't beat yourself. Play all out, and let's go. And I'll accept whatever happens and say War Eagle fan.
Johnny, I got to ask you a quick question, man. How do you get those graphics made up so quick? I mean, you're constantly throwing out new ones, dude. It's unbelievable.
Well, I do pack. Whenever one pops in my head, I usually just make it. But then once it's in my head, it don't take long to make it work. I mean, I could do it in a few minutes. I got all the apps on my phone.
I love it.
But I think about scenarios in my head, and I go, and then it could be months, and then the perfect moment pops up, and I throw it out there like an Uno card. And
like a draw 4.
Yeah. I have an odd. I live in my own head. It's odd up there, man. I start making weird stuff. But I mean, honestly, this site and y'all are the best. I mean, it's the most fun. We had the most fun. And this site and this show has the hallmark of the great shows, which is you just feel like you're hanging out with friends and talking sports. It's not just a show; it's a community, and that's the hallmark of a great show to me. Is when you're sitting there, and even when you're not talking to you guys, I feel like I'm just sitting with friends and we're talking sports.
And that's
I got it. And I think everybody else knows it too, and everybody that don't know is finding out. And I think we're all spreading the word because it's different on this side.
I've been on all the other sites for a long time, and they've all had their moments where they had their runs, but it was never felt like this one does. So
you as well as many other people are
so
you're
hard.
helping us, man.
It's cold, grinding. All you guys. I mean, there's more content. I got carpal tunnel on my finger from hitting the F5 refresh. And every time there's a new story or something, it's constant. I mean, it's constant. Like I think I don't know. I might have to get a part-time job so I can put my full-time job and just hit more refresh buttons, because I mean, it's just like I don't have time to hit it as much as I do.
Hey, Johnny, we appreciate that, dude. That means a lot. It really does, man. We don't take that lightly. We appreciate all the loyalty from all you guys, man, especially you, Logan, calling in and posting all the time. We appreciate y'all. What you do for the site, man. Y'all help promote
Y'all
us.
are huge assets for the site.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do not take you for granted.
Well, guys, I appreciate y'all, and I just want to say, how about you and Ward and Eagle?
How about you, big dog? Appreciate you, Johnny. Sure do, man. Zach, what are we looking like on the call lines?
They just keep calling. We've went from 2 up to 5, 7. So
let's cut the call line, and then we'll get to the ones we have. How about that?
Okay, got it.
We are seeing some. Okay. We're seeing some bat signals and stuff, but I think that's for the kid who just committed. Cinda, yes. All right. So
seems to be.
I freaked out there.
I'm watching Twitter, brother. Don't worry.
I was like, you're going to have to cut these calls off, Dig. I got to go.
Yeah, I got a little sweat going on right here.
Me too, dude. I'm about to go cut the fan on. I'm sitting over here texting like, keep talking, Johnny. I need to get this figured out, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I think it was about Dylan Cinda, the transfer or the new signee from Northwestern, the offensive lineman. I think DeAndre Carter. We thought maybe that would be him. Maybe later this week is what I'm thinking. Maybe
I think later the week.
Yeah, Thursday or Friday, maybe. We'll see. Good stuff, Johnny Knox. Keep us going there, Big Zach. We're gonna cut the phones down, but the guys who are on hold in the queue right now, we're gonna get to all those calls, and then we'll get to some questions. I hope y'all aren't getting impatient with us. I know we're going over tonight, but it's a big show for us. We had a great time, and we want to get to as much information to y'all as possible. So keep going, Zach.
0978. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
How about
you? You guys hear me?
Yep.
Hey, what's up? This is Reed calling from Chattanooga. Just had a quick question for you guys. Where do y'all think the staff is at with communication on Cam Coleman since he's committed to A&M? Is that someone that we might be able down the road to get a few visits for some home games, maybe let them rethink things down the road here?
Fantastic question, Reed. I would like to address this. Let me send a never mind to one of my people. I will say this, Cam, and this is Reed, not Cam, but this is one of the reasons we talked about Grandma Riddick and how Georgia fans and Alabama fans, like the impressions have on those two schools right now on their fan bases, right? And which is why I'm saying, man, don't burn bridges. Yeah. Especially don't burn bridge to the 5-star wide receiver down the road. If he thought Texas A&M was the best spot for him, at least at that time, hey, congratulations. He's a good kid. He really is. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed talking to him, meeting him. He's a fantastic individual. I wished him luck. I hope he does well. If you want a chance to flip that kid, you handle it like that, or you don't, like Cole said, don't tweet at him. But as far as Cam Coleman, he is absolutely still a guy on Auburn's radar. I think ideally Auburn would like to add Nycar and Cam Coleman to this class. They would love that, and they will try their best to do it. I will say that the communication with Cam Coleman has continued like nothing happened. There was great communication there between Auburn and Cam Coleman. I would be surprised as heck if Auburn, if we don't see him in Auburn at least 2 or 3 more times before December. Now, will those be publicized? I don't know. I certainly don't think they will be publicized beforehand. I think it might be a Cam Coleman just showed up type deal.
Yeah.
But I think they're
that's kind of how it went with Perry Thompson.
Oh, well,
actually.
just kind of showed. And listen, that's how you want it. That's what other schools' commitments. I mean, you think if Perry Thompson plans a Tennessee visit next week, if Auburn hears about it, they're going to put a stop to that best they can. Yeah. Same with anybody else committed to any other school. You think A&M, if they find out Cam Coleman's going to visit Auburn Saturday for the UMass game, they're not going to go, hey, man, we'd rather you not.
Right. It goes back to the awareness I was talking about earlier. They just have an awareness about that kind of thing.
Sure.
Tell you what, I feel like I'm pretty much in the know. I had no idea Nikar was coming to Big Cat.
Perfect example.
Not a clue.
Listen, if you would have asked me Thursday, what position group do you feel best about knowing as far as like who was coming? I would have said wide receivers.
Yeah.
I would have said wide receivers. And I have no idea. Nikar. Remember when he walked in, Cole? We were like,
yeah. The best thing, well, I'm not going to. I recognize him because I did go to see him in person, but nobody else did. So I was like, let me get that out real quick.
Did you get it out?
Yeah, he did too. Real quick. Slid that one out.
Let me get that one. Hey guys, that's Nikar. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, really? Let's all put it up at the same time. Hey, it happens. But Reed, yes, good stuff, man. I wanted to address the Cam Coleman. Listen, I would put him on the back burner for now.
Yes.
Let's forget about him.
Yeah.
Until closer to December. Let's see where these stand.
Well put. Long play on both. And if A&M's season falls apart, and I believe that's a possibility, I honestly believe that, we'll see where the chips fall.
Good stuff, Reed. Appreciate your call, big dog. Zach, keep us going.
6179. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from? (6179). You're live.
Yo.
Hey, who we talking to?
What's going on? Y'all can hear me, man?
There he is. We can now, big dog. What's your name?
Got you.
Okay, man. I'm sorry, man. I was on the road. I missed the first beginning of the show, man. And, I was trying to get the feedback on the intake on KJ Bolden.
Ooh. Hey, who is this? What do you want me to call you?
My name is DJ from Tennessee, Alabama, new caller, and I'm going to make myself a regular.
All right, DJ. Appreciate the call, man. Did you say Phoenix City?
Yes, sir. What's up, Jay Lee?
All right, big dog. We just talked about Cam Coleman, but
what's up, man?
What's up, brother?
I like this DJ, man. DJ, that's a fantastic question. He wants to know about KJ Bolden. And man, just in the last 10 minutes, kind of put some feelers out on what was going on tonight. And I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I want to address that actually. So on the last show, this was last Sunday.
Yeah.
I said the things that I'm hearing about KJ Bolden right now
can't be true.
Too positive it was for me to do my job correctly. It's too positive to just cling on to those things and go, okay, yeah, I'll run with that. No, you got to be careful, okay, because there's a lot of stuff out there that gets floated around. That's the way it is these days. But I kept going, really? Talk to another source. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Talk to another source. I mean, you're kidding me. So I wanted to observe him, see how it went at Big Cat, talk to other good sources that, would have an idea. We had been hearing that Auburn and Florida State were possibly the two that were surging, and now Hayes Fawcett put out that KJ Bolden told him that, Auburn's top two for him, and now we think the other school might be Florida State, which is crazy. And look, I would never count out Georgia in this one. That's just me. I wouldn't do that. I think that would be silly. I don't think that would be smart. But it sounds like Auburn and Florida State are the ones that are sort of leading the way right now, with still a week to go in this recruitment, which is a decade in recruiting.
Absolutely. Great day.
So I'm very cautious to say that Auburn is a leader in this. but I did make a post that said it's possible Auburn is the trending team.
Yeah, I think that's spot on, Cole. And I think it was last show where I said I thought I had heard Florida State was really in it. I mean, really in it for KJ Bolden. I'm now very much Auburn is, I mean, really in it for KJ Bolden. And I'm still hearing Florida State as well. But like you said, you cannot count out UGA.
Right.
And
No.
or an in-state guy. Like I would say there are 3 teams all jockeying right here, and they're trying to make sure they get the last phone call, the last word in, because they don't know if it's going to be the last. I mean, I think it's that tight.
Some of the quotes he gave us the other day. Hugh Freeze almost had me commit. He said that.
And very surprising for a 5-star veteran recruit like this kid. I know he's just a junior. He's not even a senior in high school yet. But for that kid who's been interviewed probably more than anybody in this class to come out and say that, like,
that was not his first rodeo. He has talked to so many people in his time as a recruit.
Yeah.
You know, he knows how to play those things. And look, I don't mean that in a bad way. He just knows how to go about an interview.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, me personally, I don't put too much stock into interviews like that. You know, you have all the media there. They know, you know, there's going to be a set of questions, and they're usually all about the same. How did it go? You know, those kind of things. But it's not the interview that I'm on. It's the intel that I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I was going. I didn't finish earlier, but my thoughts. I'll have an updated hot board in the morning. I'm going to at least have KJ Bolden and Auburn at 50% at least. That's worst case scenario. And I think it's closer, to be honest with you. Coming off Big Cat, I think Auburn might have a little edge here. I'm not convinced enough to put in a prediction. That won't come until Friday, if at all. If I feel good about it, I will definitely make one. I do think there's a lot of buzz. And also, if you didn't see this, Hayes Fawcett, On3 graphic designer, put out today a quote from KJ that said, Auburn is in my top 2. Is there any doubt who the second school is? I just from Cole, from a couple of conversations we had over the weekend, that's what we were told before this was Auburn, Florida State.
Yeah.
And I'm like you, Jalen. I mean, you think I'm counting out UGA? No. But I think it's really interesting that Jaden Pilati, the commitment from Buford, who's committed to Georgia, is thinking about having a surprise.
Yeah, boy, he really didn't mince words, did he?
No. It was basically, I mean, he stopped himself when he said, I'm gonna have a surprise. It was almost like I'm gonna flip my commitment soon. That's what he was saying.
It's the way
this kid's a top 50 player from Buford, Georgia, who's committed to the Bulldogs, and he comes over and 5 days before his close friend and teammate makes his commitment, this kid's ready to throw the deuces up to Athens and head elsewhere. Man, there's so many leaves in the teapot to read, right?
Yes.
But a lot of them sure do point to Auburn.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they all do, but I'm just saying there's a lot of them that point to Auburn.
Right. And to play the Keith Niebuhr role, let's let the visit high come off. Let's see.
Right, exactly.
Let's see where the buzz is on Wednesday and Thursday.
There you go.
That's where we need to be on this. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's hot right now with Auburn buzz.
I call that kind of intel scary intel. It scares me.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I want to go with it. I want to go, I'm with you. But I can't do it, man. I've seen this movie. You know what I mean?
Let me see. When I first I remember shooting a text to one of my guys weeks ago. I don't know, Cole, it might have been before or after you, but it was like, are you buying? And this is what I told him. I said, are you buying this Auburn buzz with KJ Bolden? Like, are you buying this? Because I'm not. But let me run it by you. Auburn is a player. That's what he said. I was like, okay. And I think Cole.
Well,
I'll check into it, man.
Depending on when I put it out, I can tell you when I found out some intel that I went, okay, Auburn is the real deal in this recruitment and really in it. Was at Jalen Crawford's announcement ceremony. I'll go no further than that. But
Yep.
that's where I heard something about it. Okay.
Yep. I
I
think
don't
that's
remember if it was you or Jay Lee Cole who said that the flip of Riddick and Thompson could easily become a boulder rolling downhill, because then flipping to Auburn, committing to Auburn is becoming super trendy. And can you imagine the graphics? Another flip from Georgia, a 5-star commitment in KJ Bolden out of the state of Georgia. I mean, the momentum would be outrageous on the recruiting trail.
Look, and it's Auburn's becoming the in vogue thing. And I firmly believe that. And listen, I've heard enough, I've talked to enough people that Auburn was fun again this weekend, right? Like, you had recruits there that just had an absolute just blast, man. And really, Auburn was the trendy school over the weekend. The buzz coming out of Auburn, and I've looked around on other schools because everybody had a big barbecue, right? Like, everybody had some kind of gathering of some
cookout. Yeah.
Auburn's generated the most buzz from big-time players.
Yep.
And it's hard for me to say that, as somebody that tries to be responsible with what, the words that come out of his mouth. You know what I mean? Because the last thing I ever want to do is mislead the Auburn fan base or the people that are, following us along with On 3. But no, I mean, it was Auburn was the popular thing. Auburn was the it thing. Auburn was the trendy thing coming out of that weekend, and it's legit. But I'm sure we got another caller, Zach. We could probably talk about this for days, dude.
Good stuff, DJ. Appreciate you, big dog. Looking forward to hearing from you from now on in the future.
9413. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Sam from Cleveland.
Stan or Sam?
Stan.
Stan, S-T-A-N.
There you go.
Hey, Stan.
Hey, buddy, I'm calling from Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow.
Okay.
Watch you guys every Sunday night.
Thank you.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much, Stan. Appreciate you, man. That's awesome.
Okay. Sorry about that. I just wanted to say thank you. I watch you guys every Sunday. And I want to say hello, gentlemen, to you too, Jhead. And I heard that they're going to move Big Cat next year to Coffee County. Is there any truth in that?
You know what? I think there's a spot for it in Coffee County somewhere. We'll just have to bring back the Rattlesnake Rodeo. We'll steal it from Covington County, but we can make a spot, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I got a question. I got something I wanted to say about when Eagle 5 called it was talking about family. If you know what that stands for, it's forget about me, I love you.
Well put.
Nice.
So just want to pass that on to you. You guys have a great night.
Appreciate you, Stan. Great stuff, buddy.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Bye, buddy.
I like how he did that, man. I'm in, I'm out. Here's my point.
Yes, I like that, Stan. We'll be looking for
more.
Two more.
My stomach likes it,
Keep
too.
it more.
All
Keep us going. Keep us going there, Zach.
8861. You're live. Who we talking to? Where you calling from?
I'm Kevin from Wimmer, Alabama.
Hey, there
Kevin has nothing else to ask for. He has nothing else to ask about, do you,
Yeah,
Kevin?
he does. Cam Coleman, guaranteed.
What's on your mind tonight, Kevin?
How about DeMarcus Riddick and Perry Thompson?
How about you, big dog?
Kevin.
How about him?
Yeah.
Did you see they committed?
Yeah.
Were you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. Hugh Freeze is too.
Cole and I we were excited for you, Kevin.
No doubt.
You have been persistent on both of those guys, we were happy for you, man. I know you must have been ecstatic.
And I think KJ Bolden is next coming to Auburn.
Woo.
All right, I'm gonna pencil it in there, Kevin.
Hey, you better listen to Kevin now. He's got some intel, I think.
He's rivaling Frederick 90 right now. He's been asking about Riddick and
yes, man, forever.
Maybe longer than Frederick.
January, since we turned to
Yeah.
the 2024 class, Kevin has asked consistently about three people.
I'd like to go check our first call-in show. I bet Kevin was on there, or one of the first.
Man, that's when my internet wasn't working those days, dude. So who knows?
But yeah, Kevin, man, DeMarcus Riddick, Perry Thompson, 2 5-stars in the boat for Auburn. I think it was. I'm going to say it was a big week for you.
I think we get that Carter kid too.
Oh, DeAndre Carter.
I'd agree with you on that one.
I think by next week, this next week's show, we'll be talking about him.
Talk to you later.
Okay, Kevin. Thank you so much,
Appreciate it,
buddy. We
Kevin.
appreciate you, man. I always enjoy your call, Kevin.
Bye, Jeffrey Lee.
All right, bye, Kevin from Wilmer.
Yes,
Wilmer, Alabama.
Yes,
appreciate you, Kevin. I always appreciate you, big dog. Last one, Zach. Make it a good one.
6971. You're closing down the show. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
This is Bill from Tallahassee.
Bill from Tallahassee. What's happening, Bill?
Hey, first of all, I just want to ask Jay Lee, has this been the best month of your life?
That's a damn good question.
Yeah,
I got to see them. I tore it up on the Snake River, caught 29 cutthroats. Then I went to Hawaii. I'm not a beach guy, but I love Maui. Married a 5-star, covered a couple of 5-star commitments, had a wonderful week of work. And I mean, listen, anytime Auburn has success, my life is much easier. So I'm going to tell you, Bill, it's certainly a top 5.
I think the answer is yes, Jeffrey.
It might be.
I think if you want to sleep in the bed with Jessica tonight, you better say it's the best one of your life, brother.
Let me tell you something. Back when I was a freshman in college, hey, I had a month at Jacksonville State like you would not believe. Oh,
throwing a little all right.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Big War Eagle to you guys.
War Eagle.
Great weekend there on the plane. And while a lot of the talk was Shirley and message board talk was around the 5-stars, there's a couple 4-stars I want to talk about.
There you go.
Michael Simmons.
Yes.
Obviously, he very easily could have been overshadowed, but I think he'll be a big piece moving forward. Obviously, it appears there's a lot of talent there, maybe raw talent.
Yep.
But one thing I didn't hear a lot about, and then, the over and under on the commitments was 3, 4, and 5. I really thought we'd hear more out of Bradley Shaw and didn't get a lot of updates. Any updates y'all can provide on his visit?
I'll tell you what, man. I've visited Bradley twice now in person. He is not, even when I get him there and talking, he don't say much. So, he just don't say much. He don't say much. We weren't able to get him. He slipped out, around the time of the pool party, it seemed like. I don't think that means anything. I think that's where they left from, as everybody was leaving. And you know what? I think might go see him. We'll try to figure out what's going on with Bradley Shaw.
You know what? I've got a freaking A, of course. My hey, Bill, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, did you graduate from Tallahassee High School?
I did.
What year?
Tallahassee Tigers.
85.
Okay, so you're a little bit older, but dude, the best Little League pitcher I've ever seen in my life was from Tallahassee, Alabama. I played against him in the state tournament in 1987. His name was Jonathan Rivers.
Yeah.
You remember him?
I do.
Do you really?
Oh yes. He was a good little pitcher there, and I think back then it's probably Little League versus DC Youth now, but
we were Dixie Youth. Dude, I think they won the World Series.
They did.
And I'm proud to say that we were a speed bump on their way. They put us out.
How about a guy that played offensive line at Tallahassee named Oatmeal? You know him?
I don't know Oatmeal. I knew a Grits.
Dude, that might be the best line of the night.
I think it was grits. Actually, I said it wrong.
Oh yeah.
Look at Jay.
Grit, he graduated with me. He was a big younger.
Yes, oatmeal is his son. There it is.
Okay.
Hey, one last comment on. I followed Auburn for many years, and the last 2 or 3 regimes, it kind of felt like recruiting was sling mud out there to see what would stick. I really enjoyed. You could tell the planning that went into this last weekend, and it was things started lining up. You could see, the 1 o'clock commitment. There right before the scavenger hunt. Then it was laid on for 4 o'clock there around poolside. And it was just good to see that how everything is laid out, the planning that went into it. And I fully expected a 7 p.m. dinner time commit to come out, but I didn't know the schedule and didn't know, how many kids or ball players were going to dinner. But it was just really good to see that planning going to that. So I think Freeze has got us on the right road. That's all I've got, fellas. Thank you.
Bill, I completely agree. Man, listen, okay, what a 180 I have done. So you remember, I think last week, Jhead, we were talking about this is I can't remember what show it was on. Maybe it was after DeMarcus. Did we record? Yeah, we recorded after DeMarcus, and we were like, man, this is going to give us more confidence in making picks like Perry Thompson. But after Cam Coleman surprisingly committed to A&M on July the 4th, it was like, okay, it's the same old, same old. I ain't gonna lie.
No,
you can't let that guy get away, and he's already gone. Here we go.
Yeah, our group chat. I can't even repeat some of the things that I said. You know what I mean? Like it was of that level. And then you're right. You got. I'm trying to think of who was the next commitment. So you got DJ Barber that day. And then which he hated, and then it was Malik.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Crawford happened. You're like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So the things that we're hearing, they're coming to fruition. And then all of a sudden, we start to hear legitimate DeMarcus Riddick buzz, and had been for a while. But as we inch closer to the commitment, oh my God, this is really going to happen. You know what I mean? And then that happens, and then Perry happens, and just now the belief is there. And look, I'm a firm believer in this. Nothing sells hope and despair in the same day like recruiting, brother. You know what I mean? Nothing sells hope and despair. And right now, Auburn is on the hope end of that spectrum, and everything that we hear, we can actually viably believe it. That's the best part about this.
I'll tell you what else too. An already motivated staff and the way that they're going about things, you give them 2 5-stars and beat Georgia and Bama for them. Watch out now.
Man, I tell you what, if we haven't even talked about Jalewis Solomon.
I know.
He's announcing Saturday as well. I think he's announcing at 3 o'clock Central Time Saturday, and KJ's announcing around 6.
Yeah,
dude, you get one of those two of those two. I mean, we might be talking top 5.
Yeah,
I'm serious. You get 3 5-stars.
I don't know, because On3 doesn't have a class calculator yet. Using the one that's available, just with Bolden, TJ Lindsey, and DeAndre Carter, we'd be 5th in the country.
Wow.
Yep. Add Jalewis Solomon, who I think is a guy. Yeah. I honestly believe this. His stock is on the rise, and he's a kid that's going to see his ranking continue to go up with On3. I believe that.
Yeah,
he's raw enough of an athlete. He's starting to come into his own somewhat. And this season, he has the chance to kind of separate himself somewhat on the field.
He's gonna have a good senior season too. I mean, he looks the part. He's one of those guys. As Logan asked earlier, who are some of those frame guys? And as a corner or whatever he's being recruited as, corner nickel, he's as physical and big as they come.
Well, man, we've already crossed the 2 hour. I hope we didn't bore anybody. I hope we didn't put anybody to sleep. I hope everybody listened, and we had some fantastic callers. Real quick, man, I want to give a big how about you to all these guys. Frederick 90 got us started. Appreciate him sacrificing his time, giving us some more of his time. Grandma Riddick was fantastic. Love her. Really appreciate her giving her the night. Walker White calling in and giving us all kind of love the insight he provides for this recruiting class, these coaching staff, and these kids. Really enjoy that. We had Logan and Carter, awesome. Sky down there on his birthday in the beach. Edward from Selma, legendary caller there for us. Bo from Moody with this big dog prediction. Big Pat, love to hear Big Pat. Let me tell you why I like Big Pat. He knew everything you needed to know about Malcolm Simmons.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Malcolm Simmons get overlooked because that dude doesn't deserve to be overlooked. And I appreciate Big Pat calling in with all his stuff. Andy from Wetumpka, Eagle 5 had a fantastic call, very insightful call from Eagle 5. Johnny Knox, we love Johnny Knox, one of the more loyal subscribers we have. Reed, DJ, Stan, Kevin, and Bill from Tallahassee closed it out. Fantastic show, man. I'm telling you, we can't express our gratitude to you enough. We love it. Appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate y'all listening and watching. But before we go, listen, Auburn Live on 3, $1 right now. Practice is getting kicked off Wednesday. It's fall camp. We've got commitments coming later this week on top of KJ Bolden, Jalewis Solomon. We didn't even mention J. Caleb Falk, JJ Falk, Keldrick's little brother. He's announcing in 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. So a lot to unpack in the month of August, and we're going to try to be on top of it there at Auburn Live on 3. $1. Go give us a chance. You will not be disappointed. We'll be back middle of the week, Wednesday or Thursday, with another recruiting show. We'll try to touch on some things we missed tonight, and then maybe preview the week ahead for next weekend with the commitments. But thanks everybody. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you listening, man. For Cole, for Zach in the back, for Jhead, I'm Jeffrey Lee. Man, y'all stay out of that left lane. See you.